This video will show you how to make use of remove layers. Let's go to recasting here. Okay, let's move that out. Move the transfer function editor. Okay, so what we are interested now in is the 3D preview. That's the 3D preview one. And let's tweak this transfer function so that we get a nice surface. Now what we'll do is, if we want to see the insides of this object, then one way is to say clip it and see what's inside. Another way is to use, say, recasting and then changing the opacity of this this transfer function to see what is inside. Now what I have given is another way of looking inside without reducing the opacity of the transfer function. So let me just ramp up the opacity here, as you can see, and we can use remove layers. So the way this this facility works, remove layers, is by marching through the object from outside to inside, and then just counting the number of solid slabs that it encounters on the way. So once you start from outside, once the ray hits the view ray hits the object, that is basically the solid part of the object, then it remarches through the object till it encounters empty region. So that part from the outside to the till it hits the empty region is layer 1. Then it will pass through the empty space, and then when it encounters the solid part again, that's layer 2, and so on. So remove layers is nothing but just ignoring the first slab that it encounters, first solid part that it encounters, and then start rendering from the second solid slab that it encounters. So that's basically removing first layer, and same thing goes with remove 2 layers and so on. But usually I think the users would mostly use only remove top layer. So this is what we see when we remove 2 layers in this case. And isosurface. So same thing will work for isosurface, recasting, or even X-rays. So, and of course you can use snapshot to save a movie, or save animation, or save a snapshot, a single image. Now let's see what happens if we have as our object the air phase. So that's the air phase, empty space, and then all the solid part is basically here. So let me just add a new transfer function just to show you the solid part. So this is the solid part. Right now I'm going to hide it, and when we have remove layers 1, then this is what we'll get. So we are just going to get the edge of the solid part and the air phase here. And if we increase that to here, so this part here, this value range here is basically most of the solid block. So let me show you what that is. This is the solid block here, and the insides of these cylinders is the high density part here. So this is the the high density part. And this is what we see when we remove one layer here. Now let's see what happens when we have this kind of a transfer function. So this way you can show the interior of the objects. Let's try another data set. Say earthworm, recasting. So this is the volume. Let's go to isosurface. So this is the earthworm. Now let's have a look at this part here. And let's remove top layer. Let us tweak the transfer function a bit, and then you can see the insides nicely here. So without removal of top layer and then with top layer removal. Let's see what happens with recasting. So let's change the color now. Say this one here. So this way you can easily show the insides of an organism just using remove layers. But you just have to have the correct transfer function or right kind of a transfer function to show the interiors. And again, you can save the snapshot and save a movie. Let's see what happens when we see the entire object. So as you can see there, so this may not be right for the all parts of the object or for all the objects, but for some parts maybe you would be able to use this functionality to show the interior. And you can also go in and paint. So for example, if I want to paint this part, then I can go in and paint here. And I'm painting the interior of the object. this one.